Hola, mi gente. When I started Latina Mic Drop, I didn't know my voice would help others find theirs. But that's exactly what happened. This episode isn't just a celebration, it's a reflection on what happens when Latinas stop whispering and start leading out loud. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Latina Mic Drop. I can't believe it, but we are 1 year of Latina Mic Drop. Over 50 episodes coming to you weekly. And I am just so excited and happy to have you here on my anniversary episode. Listen, a whole year ago, I hit record with a shaky ass voice and a whole lot of heart. I didn't know where this mic would take me, but it's taken us somewhere very, very powerful. Today, we celebrate the courage it takes to speak what once silenced us. This is the episode about growth, grace, and the fuerza we've built together. I am so happy and I can't wait to see what year 2 brings. Year 2 is going to definitely continue to shape my voice, our voices. We're going to show what the chingona times are all about. We're going to have all the tattoos and pearls ready for everybody to see, to hear about, to understand, to live a whole different life than the one that they're accustomed to, and breaking barriers, being the cycle breakers that we all are, because we've all done a lot of firsts here, a lot. But at the end of the day, we are here making strides, pioneering new things, pioneering new projects. We are making changes and we're holding up to them. We're sustaining them. We are keeping the momentum. And I want to talk to you first about what are those lessons from the mic that I have learned. And the first 5 things this mic has taught me: listen, silence is survival, but voice is freedom. For me, I was so scared to talk about who the hell I was, my different identities, because I had to stay quiet to live, 1, 2, to be happy, 3, so I wouldn't be judged, 4, so people could accept me, and 5, because I had a lot to lose if people found out about certain things and then used it against me. I mean, the reality is I'm a Latina. The reality is that I am LGBTQ+. The reality is that I'm an immigrant. The reality is that I have 3 adult children. The reality is that I'm an HR executive. The reality is that I'm a host, I'm an author. I've been putting myself out there a lot recently. And even though all of those things were scary at the beginning, I realized how much freedom I really have gained from being open, free to speak about what I have on my mind and what things are happening and how I can help others, and the vulnerable stories that come with that. And the vulnerability is different for all of us. And it's definitely something you want to do with caution, because it takes a lot of courage to be yourself sometimes. And it takes a lot of courage to go against the grain. It takes a lot of courage to really be who you are, depending on your family, your circumstances, where you are in life, what you're doing. And it does take some courage, but at the same time, it is so freeing. Like, I am so happy that I can drop an F-bomb here and there. I am so happy that I could talk about what's really on my mind. I am so happy that I can share all the different lessons that I've learned and everything that I can offer the world. I am just super happy and excited about that, because that's something I've always wanted to do, and I've done it at work. but now I get to do it on a different level. And now I get to expand my knowledge elsewhere and create that domino effect of where we are and where we're headed, and have it continue on, not just for me, not just for the people around me, but for whomever the people around me or the people who listen to me also come in contact with, because they are also making strides. They are also making a difference. They are also carrying the message forward. And I am just over the moon for all the great things that we have been able to talk about throughout this whole entire year. And let me tell you, the other piece is that leadership really begins with healing. And my vulnerability has definitely become my superpower. Me being able to talk about tough situations, me being able to talk about hard things that I've been through, me being able to talk about the hardships, the real and raw of my life and my family and where I come from, my circumstances. All of that always used to be hidden. But the reality is that I recognize that's where I got my power from. I recognize that life is tough, but there's so many lessons coming out of that. And actually, the more vulnerable I was in my episodes, the deeper I connected with my audience, the more I received comments from you all. Like, the more I realized, wait, there's something here. And tapping into that emotion is something that I was kind of afraid of doing before, because people would judge me for it. Like, people don't want you to be emotional. People get scared of you when you start crying. People start running away and feeling awkward and saying, like, oh, here she goes, right? This is the emotional Miriam. But the reality is that we all have emotions. And the reality is that we all have reactions. The reality is that we all have triggers. But how do you react? How do you deal with it? How do you move forward from it? How do you embrace it and at the same time have emotional intelligence to be able to move forward with it, right? And how do you understand what is really happening and what is causing a blow up, or what is causing a tantrum, what is causing a different reaction that isn't helpful, and how can you create those reactions into becoming intentional outcomes. And I am just super happy and excited. That's why I wrote the book Tattoos and Pearls, because I wanted to be vulnerable. I want you, the listener, to find home in the stories, because so many of us are going through and have been, and we haven't been able to tell our truths to anybody because we didn't have a safe place to do it, because people weren't ready to hear it, because people want us to just sweep it under the rug or act like it never happened. And that the reality is that it did happen. And the reality is that there is an impact because of it. So leadership really begins with healing. I would not be who I am today had I not faced those challenges, those adversities, those difficult stories that I grew up with. And the beginning of it is the fact that really representation is the start and transformation is the goal. And what I'm realizing is that prior to starting Latina Mic Drop, and prior to me writing books, and prior to me putting myself out there on social media, I really didn't have a community at all. I had people that I was surrounded with, I had people that I work with, and my family, right? My close family. But I didn't really have that community. I didn't really have that, the people that really understood me, where if I dropped an F bomb, something that's a little more passionate that people aren't really accustomed to, or people just expect this polished and executive presence nonsense that you hear about, but you're being real. So to me, it was like, how can I be real? How can I help people? And how can I continue on this journey? And I'm not talking about being unprofessional or disrespectful. That's not what I mean. What I'm talking about is really understanding our community and really understanding each other. I'm really loving the fact that I am finding my people, and that people are finding home in my story and my voice and the information that I have to share. And you don't have to be fearless, just fuerza full. What I mean by that is that we all have a fear. My biggest fear was fear of rejection. And here and there, that rejection sometimes shows up and it stops me from saying something or doing something or posting a video. And it can get scary at times. I mean, I can recall like at work one time, many times actually, where I wanted to send a one sentence email to higher ups and I had to check it like 1,000 freaking times because I was so afraid of making a mistake. And I was like, I have to send this right. It has to be 100%. It has to be perfect. And I realized how much perfection was really negatively affecting me. But the reality is that I started Latina Mic Drop. I was talking at work and I've been doing a lot of talking at work and doing a lot of that, right? But I hadn't done a podcast before. So I realized that, you know what? I'm going to do it scared. And the reality is that I've been doing things scared my entire life. I've been doing so many different firsts that you have to do it scared because you don't know what the outcome is going to be. You don't know what is on the other side of it. Sometimes you can't know. Sometimes you don't know until you get there. Sometimes you don't know until you do it. The fear does show up, and I do get that fear of rejection, fear of what people will think. But the reality is that, like, I'm my own person. People are not going to be 100% on your side. People are going to different opinions. People are going to think differently than you. And it's okay. It's okay for them to be different. It's okay for me to be different. But the reality is that what you want to do is you want to also make sure that you're tapping into your fuerza. You're tapping into your power. You're tapping into your confidence. You're tapping into who the hell you are. You're tapping into what you have accomplished, what you can stand on, your credibility, your voice, your integrity. There's so many different values, that you can really stand on that will help you find that fuerza to navigate this life, navigate your next step, navigate your world, navigate whatever it is that you're going to do with the fear, right? And it's not even something that you could push out of the way. Like sometimes it's in you and you just have to find the force to just go ahead and do it. Like you just have to find the power to go ahead and go with it and lean into your power, your strength, your ability, your capability, your professionalism, what you've learned, your experience. There's just so many different things that you could fall back on. When you're ready, you're ready. And sometimes, you know what, we're not 100% ready, but by doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it well, como dice Ojo Kuje, what you're going to do is figure it out. You're going to find out what doesn't work and you're going to find out what does work. But if you don't do it and you don't try, you'll never find out. You'll never find out. And so for me, I'm not willing to live my life without finding out whether things will work out. And I bet on myself all the time. And I've had so much success that I know that I can repeat it. So it's just a matter of time before I do. And the consistency is key. So I just have to keep going and keep trying. And yeah, sometimes I do have fear. Sometimes I do feel scared. Sometimes I do wonder what the heck other people on the other side are thinking. And it's so funny because I've gotten my little bit of negative comments from people, and it's really just them having a different opinion, which is perfectly fine. I'm okay with that. But the reality is that I give a mic drop moment into everything that I do. Like, I will go full force. I will be persistent. I will freaking figure it the hell out one way or another. And all I am is open to the possibilities of what this could be, open to who is on the other side that is just waiting to hear what I have to say, that will help them, that will help guide them, that will help move you, that will help you get to where you want to go. Like, that's the whole point of this. The whole point of this is not to hear myself speak. My whole point of this is to be able to reach the people that need to hear it, that are waiting for me to come through. And that's the last lesson that I learned was legacy is what we speak into others. And I am just so grateful, so happy. And I can't even believe I have over 600 downloads and I have so many people who have watched and heard the episodes and have found their own mic drop moment in a lot of the things that I say and a lot of things that I do. I have one person who even started their podcast because of what I have been able to help them and share with them and let them know that, hey, like, this is the practice. These are the shots that we're taking. This is how we're making it work. This is how we're figuring out. This is how we're building experience. The momentum that gets started, the domino effect that happens from us putting our work out there, our creativity, our innovation, our words, our experiences is just something that really, really creates the mic drop moments. So, those are the 5 things that I've learned from being your host on the Latina Mic Drop podcast. So now, what are we going to do next? What's next for Latina Mic Drop? So I'm going to have a upcoming leadership cohort that's coming up. I'm also going to be doing a 5-day challenge that's coming up. And we are definitely going to start seeing what the opportunities are for Latina Mic Drop. Now, I've been investigating like partnerships, affiliate marketing, all kinds of different things. And I'm still looking into all of that. But the biggest thing that I'm really excited for in year 2 is the fact that I really want to reach the people that really are just waiting for the next opportunity, who are really thinking that they want more, but they haven't been able to put their finger on it, or they haven't been able to figure out how they can get there. And listen, I started this podcast after Hispanic Heritage Month last year because I want us to continue to have the conversations that we need to have with our families, with ourselves, with our loved ones, with our coworkers, with whomever it is that's in our lives. Because listen, life is hard. Life is not that easy. And we need community. We need each other. We really have to come together and unify as a community, as a person, as a human. We really just need to come together because times are tough out there. But if you focus on that, then all you may get is that. Right. But what you want to do is figure out, hey, in my world and where I live, what can I do to make a difference? How can I be that person who can help? And that's exactly what I'm willing to do here. I want to be here every single week so that I can share with you my learnings, my ability, my expertise, what I've learned so far, and where we're headed. Is if you look at all the stats on the Latinos and women, if you look at all those stats, we're here. We're here. 1 in 5 people is Latino. And not only that, like we just have so much to offer as people, and there's so many different people who are willing to help you that there's no reason for us not to thrive in this world, regardless of what's happening, right? A lot of the stuff isn't new, it's been happening, but we're seeing it all over the place. So it's not hard to miss, but the more you focus on it, the more negativity you can get. So you want to be able to be one of those people who can either change policy, change who's in office, or find a way to create change. And all of us together are the ones that are going to be able to create that momentum and be able to create the change that we're seeking. Because if we're not in the room, we won't be able to do that. If we're not in the room, we won't be able to make change. We won't be able to voice our opinion. We won't be able to share what it is that we want to accomplish. And I just want you all to know that in 2026, I will be just super excited. Hit me up. Let me know what you want, how you want to move forward. What programs are you looking for? What is it that, like, what's a gap in your life that you've been looking for but haven't been able to find? And let me know. Like, let me know because I love to create things that people want. That's actually how I created a lot of success at work. And so, whatever it is that you're listening to out there, listen, I'm a leadership coach, executive coach. And the reality is that I lead differently. I don't really pay attention to all these extra things or all these things that have been said and done before. You can find that anywhere. The difference of working with me is the fact that I'm ahead in how we look at life. I'm ahead in understanding where we're coming from. My culture doesn't define me. My culture doesn't end me. My culture doesn't affect me in a way where I don't know where we stand or I don't know what the reality is. I know how to use it to my advantage, actually. And a lot of the negative things that have happened to me, I know how to leverage them to find the power and to move the hell on and to use it in a way that I can create change, that I can move forward. And I want to share that with you. I really do want to share that type of information with you all because it really, really, really makes a difference when you have somebody who can work with you and can help you and can understand where you're coming from. And listen, we are here on this planet. We all have a purpose. We all have something to say, something to talk about, a purpose, a real calling on our name. And sometimes we don't have the circumstances, sometimes we don't have the resources, sometimes we're not sure which way to go or which path to take, but we can all find our way and we can all create the lives that we want. And Latina Mic Drop is specifically for that. I want you all to tap into being able to have options and being able to set your own boundaries and being able to understand where you're headed and understand why you're doing what you're doing. Why are you repeating a pattern, whether it's positive or negative? Why are you continuously trying and you feel like you're on that hamster wheel and you're not going anywhere? Like, I want to be that person who can help you get to the other side, who can help you see what maybe has been a blind spot for you. And Latina Mic Drop really has helped me find my real true power. And I continuously learn. I continuously want to continue to learn to be able to bring you all way more information and more experiences and anything and everything possible. I may even throw in a guest or two here and there, but I'm kind of really trying to hold on to that for another purpose because I really want it to be intentional when I bring on a guest. I really want to be able to help you out no matter what. And I am truly thankful for everyone who has listened to the Latina Mic Drop podcast. I'm really thankful for Janice Torres with understanding how to create a podcast, the name, the niche, the equipment. She gave me really foundational information to be able to be with you this past year. And I am truly, truly grateful for her for providing such guidance and providing the course that I needed to kick it off. And you all can come and kick off your own anything that you're thinking about. Like, let's not let, just because Hispanic Heritage Month is over, let's not let that stop us from continuing the conversation and continuing the momentum and continuing our purpose here. I am so grateful and thankful to you all. Thank you for a whole year of Latina Mic Drop. I am so ready for year 2. Let's get it. You just listened to Latina Mic Drop, where we lead sin miedo, heal out loud, and own every mic drop moment. I'm your host, Miriam Simon, reminding you to lead with corazón, live with purpose, and always drop the mic, not the dream.